This podcast is not for the overly sensitive, the terminally optimistic, or anyone who thinks dating in your 50s is a whimsical romantic comedy. Listener discretion is advised.
Warning, this podcast contains sarcasm, realism, and brutally honest relationship autopsies. You've been warned. This is Girls Can Tell. It's not me, it's you, with your host, Trent Erickson.
Welcome back to Girls Can Tell, a podcast where we explore the reality of dating after 50 with some truth, humor, and tons of insight into what works, what doesn't, and what we can do better next time. If this is your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, grab your seat. Hell, grab your friend's seat, because this one's going to sting a bit. This is a personal story. It's a little tough for me to talk about, but it's real and something many of you could potentially face, so let me tell it. My hope is it might help someone avoid this happening to them. I got a text from a woman I was dating, who we'll call Misty, not her real name, while I was in the middle of cancer treatment. Misty was a flight attendant. I already know, you don't have to say it. And at the end of her otherwise normal message was what looked like gibberish, a bunch of random letters, but it wasn't random. It was her making a crucial mistake. It was the moment everything unraveled. It was the moment I stopped pretending I didn't know what I already knew, and I never saw her the same way again. You see, she slipped, and in that one simple slip, I saw who she really was. This is the story of the moment one accidental text confirmed every gut instinct I tried to ignore. So let me paint the picture. Misty presented herself as sweet and innocent and maybe even a little naive in a cute way. She never swore, never once used slang in her speech or text, didn't really get technology, and acted like she could barely use her cell phone. She came off as someone who lived a quiet, simple life, someone who's wholesome, old-fashioned, innocent, and trustworthy. And I believed it. Why? Because I wanted to. Because I was vulnerable. Because I was in cancer treatment at the time, I was alone and craving connection. And here was this woman who seemed kind, doting, and safe. Until one day in October, I got a text from her. The message itself was totally normal, but tacked onto the end was this line. On my MM, I, you, IG, BBC is not. I never said a word about it. Hell, I didn't even get a chance to, since she immediately sent a desperate message instructing me to ignore that part of it. But the desperation in her request only drew my attention to it more. I probably wouldn't have even noticed it had she not pointed it out. Maybe in a weird way, this is one thing I need to thank her for. So I stared at it, read it again, and took special note of the capitals BBC within it. She blamed her phone and said it was a glitch, something random her phone just sort of typed. But even then, I knew you don't type those exact letters with that spacing in that order accidentally. Now I'll bet some of you are wondering what that text actually means, and the rest of you sickos already know, so I'll break it down for those decent people listening. On my MM. That's slang for on my mama, basically swearing something is true. I, you. I want or I love you. IG, I guess. BBC, not the British News Network. This is explicit slang for big, black, you know what the C stands for. Is not, well, likely the start of another sentence, is not disappointing, is not here, is not around. Now that last word I had to speculate on, but it doesn't take much to imagine what it would have been, nor does it make much difference anyway. This wasn't gibberish. It was dirty talk, filthy talk, and it clearly wasn't meant for me. It was meant for another guy or friend she was bragging to or coordinating with while stuck on a plane that had been delayed, likely the result of juggling multiple messages and accidentally pasting or typing it onto the end of mine. So after that trip, she came back different. Suddenly, she said she was sick. She didn't come to see me after she got back. That's the first time that ever happened. And she was distant, cold, and noticeably emotionally absent. And that's when I knew I needed to start paying closer attention to protect myself. And when I did, I started seeing a lot of inconsistencies in what she told me and in the things that she did. The more I saw, the more things didn't add up. She was unraveling and just trying to hold it all together. But she slipped. And because I paid attention, at that moment, the truth came out. It wasn't just she was cheating, it was the way she was doing it. It was that she lied about who she fundamentally was. She created a character and played it almost flawlessly. until she fucked up. This wasn't just about shitting on our relationship. I was immunocompromised. If she had given me something, anything, I very well might not have been able to fight it off. She was well aware of the position she was putting me in and did it anyway. That's not just betrayal. That's endangering someone's life. The whole time having the nerve to look me in the eye and say, "I don't understand why you don't trust me." You may be thinking, this is the kind of thing a 22-year-old might do. Instead, this was the behavior of a desperate mid-50-year-old woman. The takeaway from all this? Well, for one, it's a lesson in trusting your gut. When I saw that text, I knew. I knew what it meant, but I ignored it. I convinced myself it wasn't as bad as it looked because I didn't want to accept the truth. This episode isn't about feeling sorry for myself. It's about giving you the truth and warning you that these people actually do exist and will lie to your face convincingly, over and over. They'll show you one version of themselves, then reveal their true colors when you least expect it. If you're out there on the apps, trust your gut. Watch for the signs and listen to your instincts. It's kind of all we have at that point. And if something feels off, don't ignore it. We can all pretend to be someone else for a while, but eventually the mask will slip. And when it does, you need to pay attention, notice it, and face the truth, no matter how much you don't want to believe it. If you're out there dating, show up intentionally. Be honest about who you are, not the fairy tale version you think the other person is looking for, because lying only makes you a cowardly, weak, and pathetic 50-something-year-old child. It's time to grow up. And that's me saying that. You've been listening to Girls Can Tell. It's not me, it's you, with Trent Erickson. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a review if you enjoyed today's episode. You can always reach us at girlscantellpodcast@gmail.com or on all the socials at Girls Can Tell Podcast. Because girls can tell. And it's definitely not me.